right, before we entertain a motion here, I want to make sure, it's my understanding that the state of New Jersey would like to make a presentation or discuss the topic in some fashion. Is that correct? Please feel free to come up. It's right over here. I'm sorry, Rhonda, it's right over here.
I'd like to thank you for granting me this opportunity one more time to address you as a group. After the spirited debate yesterday, we received lots of questions, comments, tweets, emails, calls, people asking us about our opinion and why we felt so strongly about opposition to not all, but to some of the rule changes that are being proposed here today to be voted on. And I'm very happy to see that fighters are addressing this group and asking to amend rules. And one thing I can say about that is thank God for commissions, because many fighters would rather they didn't have a commission, would rather we didn't have rules and regulations, would rather that we didn't put them on suspension. Some fighters would rather be able to fight with bullets in their brains, okay, with early CTE symptoms. And again, thank God for commissions. And as regulators, I am asking all of you to dig way down, deep inside, and ask yourselves, are you doing the right thing when you vote for these amendments? As regulators, because what I saw here today and what I saw yesterday was not regulators. So, in light of that fact, our legal counsel at the state of New Jersey did prepare a press release, and I'm aware that some of you got it, but I had many people telling me that they did not receive it and they asked for copies. So I do have copies for anyone who would like to have it and review it. However, in the interest of time right now, I would like to read it to you now. With regard to the ABC's proposed MMA rules changes, please be advised that the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board is not in favor of all the rule changes. The SACB only objects to the proposals which, if passed, would negatively impact fighter health and safety. The New Jersey State Athletic Control Board is not opposed to removing the grabbing of the clavicle as a foul. We agree that we have never seen this foul called. This agency is not opposed to restricting the type of shirt that female contestants wear in an attempt to minimize wardrobe malfunction concerns. We are not opposed to the eye poke fingers amendment. This amendment is intended to lessen eye poke fouls and reduce the potential for eye injuries. The New Jersey State Athletic Control Board is also not opposed to scoring criteria clarifications, but is opposed to codifying the word damage itself as a scoring component in the official rule set. This agency prefers the use of words like impact and effect for legal and other reasons, and believes that such words can suffice. Any potential gaps or questions could be clarified in judges' training seminars. However, we note that this objection may be based on opinion, and we may be arguing semantics here. The New Jersey State Athletic Control Board is definitely opposed to allowing heel kicks to the kidneys and is opposed to rule changes which make it more likely that grounded fighters may be legally kneed and kicked in the head. This opposition is based on expert medical advice. Simply put, we are opposing the rule changes which place the competitor's health and safety at greater risk of harm. We are certain that other states, tribal nations, and provinces share our same concerns here. This will lead to the loss of unified rules throughout North America. We feel that unified rules are in the best interest of the growth of the sport. For example, the NFL and the NBA have the same game rules no matter where the game is played. Thus, absent overwhelming need, we are against changes which will cause deviation in rule sets based on location. With direct regard to heel kicks to the kidney, this was voted to be a foul during the creation of the unified rules and was voted to remain a foul upon submission of the comprehensive 2009 ABC MMA Rules Review Report. Kidney strikes of any kind are not legal or are very limited in other combat sports. The kidney is a target that is sensitive to immediate traumatic events and long-term health issues. And we had that discussion yesterday. Every nephrologist contacted was and remains against allowing this activity. Please bear in mind that the sport has evolved and grown without the legal use of the strike, and we do not see an overriding need or desire to allow placing the contestants further in harm's way. We have sent contestants to the hospital for kidney problems post-fight and for passing blood in their urine for a post-fight drug test. We have also seen dehydrated fighters not pass pre-fight screening and be hospitalized for kidney issues related to weight cutting and dehydration. If the heel hook rule is to be modified, then it should be modified on the side of greater health and safety and not less. Therefore, it is suggested that knees, elbows, and punches to the kidneys also be disallowed. Impact in the initial draft of the unified rules was the understanding that it would be unlikely that a competitor would be kicked directly in the kidneys, as that would mean the competitor would be running with his back turned to his opponent. The exception might be a roundhouse kick, although the majority of the power would most likely be absorbed by the abdomen or anterior rib cage. The unified rules therefore singled out heel kicks as the most likely direct cause of trauma to the kidneys during an MMA bout. Major trauma and repeated multiple minor injuries to the kidneys have been associated not only with the short-term medical problems, blood in the urine, kidney rupture, subcapsular bleeding, but also long-term issues such as hypertension. It is our duty, commissioners, it is our duty to protect our athletes. not only during the bout, but to try to ensure that they will be able to live comfortably after they decide to retire from combative sports. This means minimizing long-term risks to the best of our current knowledge when we consider rule changes. Finally, and with regard to allowing more head strikes, we note the elaborated reason. The reason is that certain fighters place a finger up or down at opportune times to supposedly draw the benefit of a foul. This issue was addressed and voted on at the 2014 ABC convention, where it was voted that a fighter found to be, quote, gaming the system was simply to be considered a standing fighter, and the strike was to be allowed. This was a matter to be addressed at the pre-fight referee rules meeting. Thus, there is no need to go so far as to change the rule and legalize more strikes to the head. In these days of learning more about head issues such as concussions and CTE, we must be cautious to now allow more striking to the head. We would be surprised to learn that the ABC medical representatives like Dr. Goodman or the Association of Ringside Physicians would be in favor of this rule. To be in favor would be in opposition of past commentary provided by neurologists and ringside physicians affiliated with such institutions such as UCLA, Mount Sinai, the Cleveland Clinic, Rutgers, and other notable medical institutions. In fact, no medical institution ever contacted was in favor of the proposal at hand here. Believe me, we have done our homework. We do that very well. Absent overwhelming medical evidence, we are not in favor of any type of expansion of striking to the head. We are not in favor of any type of expansion of striking to the head, let alone a change that would allow powerful, potent knees to the head of a downed fighter. We should be wary of the NFL litigation, NHL, and WWE head injury issues, and we should not be hasty with regard to matters involving the human brain and its well-being. New Jersey has a seminal place in the history and annals of the sport of mixed martial arts as the birthplace of the legalization of the unified rules. But we have never forgotten that we are not contestants, but as officials and government regulators, we hold their health and safety in our hands. And I implore upon you to please proceed with caution and humanity. Thank you very much.